Hi, this is Eric Sloov at the VMware Solutions Exchange, and we are at the Zerto booth. I'm joined by Gijs Jansen van Doren. Gijs, how are you?
I'm absolutely fine, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. So Zerto is a company that does replication, but you can also replicate between different hypervisors. Can you give me a short introduction to what your company really does?
Okay, so basically, Zerto is offering hypervisor-based replication that also supports cross-hypervisor-based replication. So that means we can move either from VMware to Hyper-V or VMware to AWS or from Hyper-V to VMware as well. Basically, that's because we took the replication outside of the storage. So normally you do a replication on storage level. We actually moved it into the hypervisor and made it actually replicating I/O from hypervisor to hypervisor instead of actually looking at the storage.
So you're monitoring the I/O that's leaving the virtual machine, and then you're catching it, and you can replay it on another location and store it over there.
Correct. We also do compression for one traffic optimization. So besides that, we also have complete automation of the failover testing, and even migration, so moving workloads from one data center to the other, or for data center consolidation.
So with replication, there's a really important indicator, and that's a repoint, the recovery point objective. So how long does it take before you catch up, and at what time can you catch up? Can you the default at VMware, I think it's 15 minutes. So what's your RPO?
So we offer an RPO of seconds. That's because our technology doesn't rely on like snapshot technology. We do a continuous block level replication from the hypervisor to hypervisor. So we actually have an RPO of seconds, and because we have all the automation built in, can offer an RTO of minutes.
So is it version bound? If I have vSphere 5, can I also replicate to vSphere 6?
Absolutely. So the first version we support is version 4.0 update 1, and we can replicate to anything up to 6 update 1. Absolutely.
That's great. Can you give us a short demo?
Absolutely, no problem at all. So this is the main dashboard of Zerto. Actually, we start by using a ZVM, which is called the Zerto Virtual Manager. And the Zerto Virtual Manager is basically our management engine, responsible for all the automation and orchestration towards vCenter as well. From within the ZVM, we can deploy all the virtual replication appliances, because we have virtual replication appliances running on each hypervisor that are responsible for transferring the I/O to the other side.
Okay.
Basically, it gives you a short overview of all your virtual protection groups. So we group VMs, but it's more about applications. So right now, applications are not one VM. You've got a database server, we've got an indexing server, we've got application servers, all kinds of servers, and we protect all those VMs as one. So what we can do is actually, upon recovery, if we recover the VPG or the virtual protection group, we bring up all those VMs to exact the same point in time. So there's no timestamp difference between those VMs, and we can do that for a lot of VMs at once. So basically, I've got 15 VPGs running right now, 24 VMs protected, 1 terabyte of data, and I've got an average RPO right now of 7 seconds. It also shows the compression ratio. As I explained before, we also do one traffic optimization. This is basically a short overview of how are my VPGs acting right now. So everything is healthy, everything is green. We have some real-time statistics on the replication, so how many new I/Os do we see passing by, what's the throughput to my virtual replication appliances, and what's the actual one traffic. So let's take a quick look at the VPGs. Because we are cross-hypervisor, we can of course replicate from VMware to Hyper-V or even AWS. We support Amazon right now. So I've got 15 VPGs, and are actually replicating to both AWS and Hyper-V at this moment, but also to a different VMware cluster. So if we take a look, this is my production side running all the VMs, and I'm moving them, or can move them, or do a failover to the different VMware side, either to Hyper-V or AWS. So let me quickly get you an overview. As I told you, you can see where you're replicating to. We can see the actual RPO at this time, and we can also meet an SLA. So you can put an SLA on the VPG, stating that, okay, I want to achieve this RPO, I want to keep a history, because besides being able to do a failover to the last point in time, we also keep a journal at the recovery side where we log all the I/Os over a certain amount of time. We can keep a history from up to 2 weeks, and within that journal, we place checkpoints that allows you to do a failover to any point in time in that 2 weeks with seconds granularity. So it's a really powerful feature as well. It also lists the VMs that we're protecting, of course, the sites that are connected to our Zerto installation right now, So let me quickly run you through a failover test, because we also have a failover testing functionality. Failover testing basically means we keep all the replication running and we boot all the VMs within a different network bubble to make sure that you can test your failover. During failover, which I talked about automation before, we all support boot order, re-IP, new MAC addresses, running scripts, pre and post recovery. So that can all be automated using Zerto. I'll show you a quick demo of a failover. We're on a test failover now. We can switch to live if we want to, but let's start with a test. I select failover. I select all the virtual protection groups that I want to fail over. I'm selecting all of them right now. Next. Clicking too fast. Okay, it allows me to select the checkpoint within the journal file. So this actually allows me to roll back to any point in time in the journal with seconds granularity. As you can see, it's like 10 seconds apart, sometimes even 5 seconds apart. Besides that, we also allow application integrated checkpoints as well. So I'm selecting this one, click save, click next, and start my failover test. So what will happen right now, it's going to boot up all the VMs, it's going to make sure that it attaches the disk to the point in time that I selected, that it's all being automated. So everything is done automatically. So I can show you quickly what it looks like on the vSphere environment. So as you can see, all my VMs are started right now with an addition to the name, testing recovery, because they are running besides the production environment. I can do all my tests right now, and actually, as soon as I'm done testing, I can just click stop. And now, this is an important part, when I stop the test, I can mention if it's a success or a failure. So let's declare this as a huge success. Click stop. So everything's being cleaned up, all the changes are not committed because we don't need that in a failover test. And what it actually does, as soon as we stop the testing, of course everything gets cleaned up. As you can see, there's nothing left. And what we do, we generate a report of the failover or the failover test or the migration. So also can do a migration. So let me quickly show you what the reports look like. So the report basically shows you this was the point in time you went to, so RPO, this is the time we took, RTO, and it actually also gives you the details from every step we took during that automation process. So it actually allows you to drill down to every step of the automation and failover process.
Well, that looks great. So do you also have an API so you can use other automation tools to do this in a scripted way?
Absolutely, we have a RESTful API support, definitely, yeah.
Okay, so you can also integrate it in an overall automation of disaster recovery?
Yes, absolutely, yes.
Okay, well, many thanks for the interview, guys, and enjoy the VMworld.
Welcome, you're welcome, and thank you for the interview. Thanks.